You've done this
He's a
before.
professional.
Yeah, definitely a professional. How are you guys enjoying the con?
That's great. We were just talking in the back how we love to see the kids smile and the families happy. And we play guys that are crazy on the screen, but we agree on protecting children and giving the kids a thrill. And of course, we respect the parents who bring their kids to these wonderful shows, and we're happy you're here.
We are also happy you're here, because,
Thank you.
otherwise they'd be staring at me and they don't want that, trust me. Quick question, so a lot of people enjoy your characters, admire your work. When you were growing up, what were the characters and the actors you admired that made you say, I need to do this, I need to be an actor?
I used to watch like Superman, Batman, and those kind of characters, those TV kind of characters that I really admire. The Green Hornet, all those I really like that. Those are the characters that got me. I also like comedy too. So.
I have to ask, which Batman? Is it We Haven't a Moment to Lose, or is it like
I'm Batman.
Michael Keaton or Adam West?
Oh, Adam West.
Adam West.
Yeah.
Well,
Original, old school.
sometimes you just get along.
If I can answer to, there's characters on the screen that we love, but there's also actors that I was always looking at, like Kirk Douglas. Now, some of you are too young for this, but there's some old legends from the 60s, 70s, and 80s that I used to go, wow, because they played great characters, And we were all young once, and we admired certain things in people. And some of us get older, and we look back in our memories, and the screen always, we have screen idols, like you're here for us, and we had people that we admired too,
That is awesome. There is a microphone right there. If you have questions, please, there's no better way to show your love. I can see someone who really loves Saw right here. Then by asking questions. I have a bunch, though, that I can, of course, ask you guys. Well, first of all, if you, in real life, were trapped in a Saw scenario, how likely is it that you would get out?
Well, Franky's get out. Look at him, he's a beast. He can get out of anything.
I won't be trapped though. I won't be trapped.
May that never happen in real life.
Amen.
But in the movies, I did good. I got out of it too. So I'm very proud of him. Does anybody remember the coffin? That was my proudest moment. Do you remember when I got in the bear trap? I got out of that too. Yeah, see, they know. By the way, can we just welcome this Billy? Stand up. Yeah. You went to the record to dress up. All right, sit down now. Behave yourself.
Yeah, please don't bring out a tricycle and any traps. All right, so looks like we have our first question.
Your first subject, jigsaw subject. So Costas, I know you're gonna get upset at me for this, but can you tell the autopsy story with Tobin's body?
Oh, well, Frankie, when I was first there, it was Saw 4, I think. It was late at night, and we all, eventually, in the freezing cold, everybody wants to go home at the end of the day, whatever you do as a job. They called me in for the last scene of the night. I'm all dressed up, and I gotta go in there when Tobin Jigsaw's body's on the slab, and I have to take the tape out and hear it. Do you remember that scene? Yeah. Okay. Well, I walk out, and I see this naked Tobin Bell on the slab, completely naked. And I'm like, geez, Christ, this guy's a real method actor, I don't know about this. And I get closer, and now I see everything, completely naked, pubic hair, the whole thing. And I go, hey, to the crew, I go, hey, you guys, get the guy a towel for God's sake. I don't want to see it. I mean, how serious are we about acting here? In the end, it was a dummy. And everybody was laughing at me, but it was so real that I thought it was Tobin. There you have it. And I never want to see that again.
Hi there. I just have a quick question for you. And you both were talking about actors you've kind of looked up to. For both of you guys, what actors in particular influenced you the most in the Saw series? And for you in particular, were you a big Stallone fan? Because I have a theory, and I know it's been asked. I don't know if you took a lot of inspiration from Stallone of what you talked about.
Are you telling me, asking me what actors inspired me for Saw or in life?
In Saw.
And so, look, Tobin Bell obviously took the role very seriously and he made an iconic character. And I didn't know much about the whole thing. And I have a story about how I ended up being in the movie. But of course, Tobin was the inspiration to everybody. And of course, the iconic moment where he stood up off the floor. Okay? And when I was invited to join the gang, I just didn't want to screw up because if you screw up on these movies, you can die real quick, you know? So I behaved myself.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. But I have to say, when you join something that's already successful, you just do your best to join in and stay with the blend. And that's how it happened.
Well, with me, it was, I didn't know what was Saw in the beginning. And I was with Oliver Stone at the time, and we were talking, and I said, well, I'm going to go to see a guy, Darren, and about the Saw movie. He goes, what's a Saw? I said, I don't know, I think it's a horror movie. So when they sent me the video, they sent me the tape, and I watched it, and I really, really liked it, because it was really a psychological, like, thriller to me, and the concept of it. And so when they came back to me with Saw 2, I met with Darren, I enjoyed the script, and we spoke about it, and I said I would love to be part of it, and that was it. And just the whole concept of it that I enjoyed.
Gotcha. Thanks so much.
You got it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rowan. I have a question. What is both of your favorite salt traps in the entire franchise?
Favorite what?
Like salt trap.
My salt trap, I'll probably be the nail pit. Because, I enjoy lifting and throwing her in there. But what was crazy is that during that, I went to the premiere and she pulled me to the side and she said to me that that she was 4 months pregnant. And I was like, whoa. And I didn't know that. So I'm glad she didn't tell me that. Because I would have threw her sooner. But no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. It was great. That was one of my moments. Yeah, it's funny.
I like the traps that I escaped, selfishly, but the one that stands out, there's so many good ones like that one, but I was in a Vegas premiere once, and it was huge. And we were in a cinema waiting for Saw 5 to be shown. And I'll never forget, it started with the pendulum trap, remember that? Yes. And it was going and doing and all that, and then it goes to black and the music comes on, and it goes bam! And the crowd, I think there was 3,000, 2,000, a lot of people in the cinema, big cinema. And when it went to black, the crowd went crazy. And I was in the crowd, and I finally saw the impact of what Saw fans really are about. So that always stood out in my mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what was so funny is that I was so curious to see how the audience will impact the audience. So what I did, I took 10 of my friends, we all went to the movies, but I had a hood on, and I was like really incognito. I just walked in there, and when the movie started, I heard the oohs and the screams and the ahs, and I was like, wow, this is really incredible. So when the movie ended, I started walking out, my friend said, take off your hood, take off your hood. I said, I'm not doing that. I want to do that. We got mobbed. Xavier, oh my God. No, I don't want to, I just left, but I saw the impact of it, so. I really enjoyed that.
You did something I always wanted to do. I didn't do it, but I'll do it one day.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Costas, you said something about there was a story about you getting involved that you would talk about later.
With me?
Yes,
What, in getting what? Say again?
and getting involved in the Saw franchise.
I just, Saw 2 had come out. It was a huge hit, 1 and 2. I was invited into the producer's office to meet Darren Bousman, the director. I go in there, and I didn't have time to see the movies. I hadn't seen them. And we were talking and all that, and Darren Bousman's staring at me. He was my buddy now. He's staring at me really serious. And then at some point, somebody says in the room, so have you seen the first 2? And I go, no, I haven't, because when you say yeah and you lie, somebody asks you a question, you get caught out. The moral to the story is never bullshit, okay? But when Darren Bousman left, the producer looks at me, the boss, Mark Berg, he goes, why did you say you hadn't seen the movie? I said, I didn't want to lie, I didn't want to, he goes, You live in Hollywood, you're supposed to lie. Anyway, I still got the gig, and I'm glad that I did, because I met a lot of good people, and I finally met him. Maybe we'll be on the screen one day together, but that's how it ended up beginning for me.
Awesome. And a moralistic story, don't bullshit.
Unless you're in Hollywood.
Hollywood is different. Okay, Gabe's running back, and...
Sorry, better late than pregnant. Anyway, so I know Costas, when you were on the set of Saw 4, I know Darren, you guys had like pranks on each other.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I know Rick had Lyric had the fart machine.
Oh my God.
Could both of you talk about any like less dark and more like funny experiences or pranks you played on set that really stuck out that you love to, you look back and you're like, that was hilarious, that was great, that was amazing, that was fun.
Look, I'll say this first, Frankie, but there was a lot of jokes going on, and I remember my moment to say game over was, I think when I killed the detective, what's his name?
Lyric.
Yeah, Strong.
Strong.
Anyway, I was practicing how to say game over because Tobin's voice was the voice. And I was walking around the set going, game over. And I got myself crazy. It's like, just say it in your own voice. But I went up to Darren Bousman, I go, hey Darren, I think I got it. He goes, say it. I said, gay mover. So that was funny. And I remember one time, when Tobin was on the operating table, we were doing the scene so many times, and I was whispering at him and stuff. And one day he just burst out laughing. That was funny because he never laughed. He was always so serious. But when I made him laugh, I thought I was funny. So that stands out. Not that I was that funny, but to get a smile out of him was good, you know? Please, Frank, take over.
There was one with me and Beverly Mitchell. We were about to do a scene, and I had the knife with me, and I was supposed to do some kind of scene. I don't remember what was it. And so I told Beverly, you know what? Let's reverse this. I'm going to give you the knife, and you chase me. And so Darren didn't know this. And so when Darren said action, there I was running around the Beverly Mitchell chasing me with the knife. And it was cut.
We didn't know.
So I'm like a prankster sometimes in some of the sets that I work on, and we have a good time with it. So.
The more relaxed we make it like that, Frank, I think everybody loosens up and the best work comes.
Yes.
I've actually heard that on horror films and more serious films, there's a lot more pranks that happen than actually when you're doing a comedy, because you need to lighten up the mood. So, has that been your experience?
Yes. I mean, that's how we get through the day. You know, you be there for so many hours and everything, and then you get to know each other and become a family, and then we're just, you know, we know what to do. You know, we're ready to do it, but at the same time, we just have a little fun sometimes, you know?
Just like life. Don't forget to laugh sometimes, everybody. It's a good, healthy thing.
Yeah.
Now, was there a particular prank done to you that you're still waiting to get back at somebody for?
No, not me.
You got it back?
No, we haven't. I haven't gotten back yet. They haven't gotten me back yet. No.
So you're the one who's...
Sometimes I like to have some fun, you know. Sometimes I may have a scene with somebody and change the lines, and you know, I was working on a show called Power, and there was a scene that I was working with the other actor, and we were in a boxing gym at the Gleason's gym, and we're talking about Thanksgiving, and we're just on a break, and we're all talking about Thanksgiving, and so we're going to a wide shot, and so there was a scene between me and Dre, and the scene was, hey man, thank you for doing this for me. So I said, okay. So they would say action. I did the scene. I did the scene with the other guy and said, yo, Pancho, there's Dre. He wants to talk to you. So I went over and I was shot in the scene. And he goes, I told you, thanks for looking out for me. And he goes, you're welcome. So nobody said anything. So I go, so what are you doing Thanksgiving? And he didn't know what to say. He was like, and everybody broke laughing on set. And the director comes out, what happened? He goes, freaking Franky, you mean pranks. So, you know, I improvise sometimes like that. So, that was fun.
Has there been ever some lines that you improvise? And
Yes, I
actually
have,
used?
yeah, I love it. Sometimes.
Can you give an
Go
example?
ahead, go ahead.
What?
Okay.
Of improvising a line and they said, that's better than what we wrote.
When you have directors that are fearless, they make you fearless, and you try different things. And a lot of movies, we call them happy accidents. Stuff happens like Frank's talking about, and sometimes they keep it. I remember the movie with Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper. Remember the Tarantino movie with Christian Slater?
Yes.
Big movie. What was it called again? That one?
True Romance.
Huh?
True Romance?
True Romance.
That's it. Yeah.
There was an unbelievable scene with Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper, and a lot of that stuff was improvised. About they were calling each other names, and then Christopher Walken says at the end, "I haven't killed anybody since 1984." Anyway, when you hear about great actors doing that, and you know what the actors, you know what they're doing, magic happens. I call it movie magic. You
Yes.
take chances. You know what I mean? Just like life. Don't be afraid to take a chance.
All I gotta say is, wow.
Wow, he knows Walken.
Wow.
Anybody love Walken? You know who Christopher Walken is? Watch his movies, he's brilliant.
Yes, it is. Very.
Next question. Go right
Okay.
ahead.
I know it's me again. Well, I watched The Walking Dead.
You're so awesome.
So yeah, thanks. You too. I actually have a question for Costas, because I know you worked with Anthony Hopkins on Beowulf.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about working with him?
Well, he's one guy that Franky would love. I don't know if you met him, Frank. Always talking, always joking. And of course, he's Sir Anthony Hopkins, one of the great bad guys on the screen. What was the movie called, the famous one?
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. Remember that, everybody? Anyway, very serious actor, very older man. Everybody reveres him, and all he did was crack jokes and tell stories. So back to have fun, whatever you do, it'll turn out even better.
Excellent. So you've both worked on a number of projects. Is there a particular project that you've worked on that you think needs more attention? Something you're proud of, but maybe just hasn't gotten as much exposure as you wanted to do?
My guess is a lot of actors have done movies where they wish that more people had seen it, but that's the luck of the draw. Some brilliant movies are made. Sometimes I catch them on the plane when I'm traveling. Normally I wouldn't see them, from different countries and stuff like that. And that's where the movie magic gets made, and then wherever it lands is what we hope for,
Yeah.
And of course, Saw captured a world of imagination. It's one of the biggest franchises ever, and that's why we're together. So we got lucky on that one.
And there's some TV shows that are really good in it, they get canceled. That I think it should have been longevity with that. Also, a lot of TV shows.
It happens.
Yeah, speaking of TV shows, you were on The Last Ship.
Yeah, I was a guest star on that.
Yeah, what was that experience like?
It was good, anytime you walk onto a set with something successful, you do your best. And I had some fun on it. I played a Greek, which I don't get to do very often, and I am Greek. And, anytime you walk onto a set, for us actors, it's magic. Some are more difficult, some are more fun. But when you're on something that's successful, it gets seen, we're happy.
Absolutely. And Franky, tell us a little bit about the family business.
Oh yeah, that's a crime drama that I just wrapped on the 6th season. It'll be opening on premiering on October 25th on BET Plus, and it's about about this car dealer that's really a drug trafficker, and I play one of the cartels and with Emilio Rivera that's here today, that's downstairs, and it's really intense. Put it that way.
What's the name of the show?
The Family Business. It's
Oh,
based
what?
on the Carl Weathers book.
I love that kind of stuff. I'm going to watch it, because now I love the guy anyway, so I'm watching it. Anybody else going to watch it? You better, otherwise we'll put you in a trap.
And there will be blood. They will come for you. Oh, that's a good one.
Any other questions? Please don't be shy. You look shy.
Come on, any questions?
Come on.
I'm curious, two-part question. What is your favorite Saw movie
And if you could play in any other movie that has ever been made as a star, what would it be?
As a star?
As a star.
As a star.
As a star?
As a star of any other movie that's already been made.
I like Greek history. I want to be in Alexander the Great, if it was ever made again as a show, and play one of the generals. Because I'm not a kid anymore. The generals are a little bit older in general. But the Saw, favorite movie you said?
Yeah.
Horror movie? Horror movie or any one?
Any horror movie or the Saw movies?
Anyone.
Exorcist.
I like that one too. But I like Halloween. Halloween, I like that one. I love Halloween. Isn't that right, Gabe? Yes, too many questions. There is a trap waiting for you downstairs. See.
See, I do a great Mike Myers impression.
Say that?
I do a great Mike Myers impression.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I think I
This
can
guy's
say
good.
it. So if Saw could cross over with any other horror franchise, what would you like to see?
I'd like to see me and Franky join up and kill every fucking body, including my Myers. I know I have survived with him next to me, right? You can tell he's a bit of a strong man. Me and him together, we get them all.
What kind of scrap would you put Mike Myers in?
Pain. Anything painful. Pain.
You're a dark, dark man. I like that. Frank, any thoughts on any other horror franchise that you might want to bring into Saw?
Well, I like to, I know they were doing Saw 11, they got scrapped, but I like to come back as a twin brother. And looking for Jigsaw. You know, when I find out later that my brother was deceased and how we got him, and you know, but I look different. I have probably have tattoos. I'm gonna cut my head bald and tattoo my head and have a robot. But I'll get, I'll do some serious damage.
Revenge.
Yeah. So that's all interesting.
Just had a quick question about film sets in general. And I know later in the series a lot more film sets were built, if I'm correct, because I know Saw 2, for most of it, if I'm correct, was shot in a real building, for the most part.
Warehouse. It was a warehouse.
Warehouse, thank
Yeah.
you. So, what was probably, depending on the conditions, what was probably your favorite set that you were a part of in Saw, and then what was probably your least favorite set, condition-wise, key temperature?
I think the whole thing in the Saw 2 traps and the set was great. I mean, it was just, I was just blown away how fast they were doing it. You know, how they got it together and how they put it together and they built it and all in one warehouse. So that, I really liked that. I really enjoyed that. And, I got to see how they did it.
Yeah. Look, sets are just big rooms that they dress up. But the guys that did the special effects were from Montreal. I remember Francois was the leader's name. What I saw, for instance, one day I walked by this guy in a trap. And I went, "Hey, how you doing, buddy? Having fun?" Because he was there for hours. And he looked at me and smiled and was like, "Shut up, get out of here." And the next day I said hello to him again, but it wasn't him, it was a dummy, just like the Jigsaw dummy. That made Saw special because the work that they did, everybody looked so realistic, even if it wasn't real people. They were exact replicas of real people. So the atmosphere was movie magic, let's say.
Thank you.
Did you check the pubic hairs on that one?
We stayed away from anybody's pubic hair but our own.
That's good to know.
Alright, I have 2 questions. What was your favorite Saw trap, and will we see Hoffman in the future Saw movies?
What was the last part of it? Speak up for me because I've got bad ears.
Will we see more Hoffman in the Saw movies to come in the future?
So will we see Hoffman again in the Saw movies?
Well, look, things have changed now because they're restructuring things with the, not new people, but the original people taking care of what they're going to do next. I have heard rumors, but I don't know anything for sure. So we don't take anything for granted. Now, if I did know, I would get fired if I told you. So all I can say is we hope for the best.
Yes.
And the other part of the question, the first one was?
What was your favorite saw trap in the whole series?
In general, anything I escape from is good for me, but there are logical ones like the needle trap, the pendulum trap. And to be honest, if I look back, the coffin where I go in on the ground and he thinks he has me, and I smile, and he gets squashed and I live, that's my favorite. Selfishly, of course.
Yeah. Well, living is always a good thing, right? Yeah, I like to live.
Yeah.
Be nice to, well, you would be seeking revenge, Franky, so.
Yeah.
Did you have another question?
Thank you for your
Thank
question,
you.
my dear.
All right, anyone else?
Billy, you doing all right, buddy? Haven't killed anybody lately? Thank God. Today's still young.
He does want to play a game. Well, technically, Jigsaw didn't really kill people. He set them up so that they would
Redemption.
themselves.
kill themselves. He did not kill. He just put them in situations that were unpleasant to get out of, or you would die.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people talked about Saw like it was torture porn. I think they're full of shit because the fans are so smart, and there was always, when you do something wrong, there are consequences. And that's what the brilliance is of what Jigsaw began. And even with me, I killed for my sister, but he taught me there's a better way to do it. Not with anger, but to teach somebody a lesson. So that's the brilliance of Saw. And I think I see that because of the smart questions the fans usually ask.
Just not the moderator.
Yes. And you're next. He thinks we like him. He's going to be in big trouble by the end of the night.
Alrighty.
Do you have to host the show tomorrow?
Yeah,
All right, we'll let you live.
I appreciate that. I don't know if they'll appreciate that, but
We'll take a vote. Who wants him alive tomorrow? All right.
All right, thanks all 4 of you, 5 of you. Your support is underwhelming.
Excellent.
So, again, getting back to horror, you said The Exorcist is your favorite horror movie?
There's so many good ones, but if I had to pick something, it struck me at 17 years of age going, this is wild. So yes, that one I remember as having the most impact.
And Frankie, what was your favorite horror movie? growing up?
Well, Exorcist is one of them, and Halloween is one.
I'm sorry.
And Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, I really enjoy that one.
So, again, getting to the horror genre, you've done a lot of horror stuff, but you've also done other stuff.
Yeah, Saw was my first horror movie, and then after that, I went on to do Devil's Tomb with Cuba Gooding, and then I did another one with like a vampires, but it hasn't been distributed yet. So, but basically, I've been doing dramas, movies, and TV shows.
Is there a particular genre you want to do more of, other than horror?
I like to do some action. I worked on Luke Cage one time, and I like to do some Marvel and some drama and some comedy. I did one comedy one time, and yeah. That's what I do.
So we want to see you in more comedy, maybe Marvel comedy. That would be
Well, if the script is good and is right, and well, of course, why not?
Guys, is anything that you would like to explore more as far as a genre?
Well, I lean towards gangster type stuff, not necessarily just gangster, but dangerous movies with consequences, good guys, bad guys. And, honestly, I think that our dream as actors is to get the best quality material in our hands. And when we're lucky enough to have that, good. The rest of it is practicing to just get better. But I do like anything to do with danger, because it's easier to watch it, be in it without the consequences of real life. So playing a gangster in a movie is a lot more fun than being a gangster, because in real life, shit can happen and it doesn't feel so good. As a movie guy, you can go home at the end of the night. That's what I like about it.
That is awesome. So what would be your dream role then? Would you want to be the Don? Would you want to be an enforcer? Would you want to?
I would make Frankie the enforcer, and I would like to be the man that hires him, so he can do all the running around. He can do all the hard work.
Okay, so laziness is a component. Okay, Frankie, is there a dream role for you?
Dream role for me, somewhat diverse. I mean, so a good script. That's why I like, when I read scripts, I like to really get into it, really get deep into it and see what it's about and understand it and then see what's right for me. But I haven't really thought of I haven't found anything really that what's a dream role for me at this moment. I mean, there's so many good stuff out there, you know. So.
Have you turned down projects that you've read the script and you're like, this is not for me?
No, not that, no. I passed on it. I passed on some, but that really, that was offered to me, then I turned it down. No, I just read it and then just, you know.
You're like, this is not worth my time for an
I wasn't
audition.
really happy with it in a sense, you know. That's.
So you're picky about your roles because.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like that, or I go on an audition for it.
Are you picky about your roles, or are there things you?
I've done movies I shouldn't have done for friends. I've done movies through the pandemic just to get out of the house and work in Europe. But there's movies that the ones that are really fantastic, you always have to fight for. And once in a while, somebody thinks you're correct for it and will bring you in. So there's different reasons for doing movies. But in the end, I never really was. I have been picky when it's ridiculous. But sometimes you just want to get out there and practice. And you take chances with films and friends. But it is a bit of an art to procure the career. And when we have the choice to be picky, we're more picky. If you don't have the choice, sometimes you just want to get out there and
Do your thing, yeah.
do the grind.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to pay the bills.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, getting a movie is a miracle. And getting a great movie is a bigger miracle. That's what I've seen.
And being on a TV series for a long period of time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing, yeah.
It's always a nice thing. So let's switch gears here. We are at a con. Can you tell us about your most memorable fan experiences?
Oh,
Frankie, go
when
ahead.
I met Dustin Hoffman, I worked with him, and I did Confidence with him. He was one of my favorite actors, and from Papillon on to some other. So we did a scene. We were working on a scene together, and it was me, Eddie Burns, and Rachel Weisz, and that was a scene that the director James Foley, God rest his soul, he passed away 2 years ago, and he came over to me. He said, "Dustin's going to try something. I don't know what it is, but he's going to try something. Just go with it." I said, "Okay." So, and I just came from Sundance. You know, I was at Sundance, and I was just shooting the film. And he came over to us, so I walk in, and me and Eddie Burns, and so Dustin comes over, and next thing Eddie Burns said, does the thing with him and Dustin Hoffman. And so, and I just look at him like a tough, you know, like a tough guy, because I'm Dustin Hoffman's right hand man. So he goes over to me. So I go back to Dustin. So what do you think? What do you think? And he goes over to me. He looks at me. And he goes, "The next time," and he took me, grabbed me, and he hit me right in the eye. And hit me, and the camera was on me. The camera was right on me when he hit me. And he jumped back and goes, oh my God, get him some ice, get him some ice. And I looked at him and I was like, just, you know, and I had an actor with me named Zeus, this huge guy, and he was like, and then the director in the background goes, holy shit. And so everybody's like frozen. So when they say cut, they go, Dustin goes, oh my God, I'm sorry, Eddie, I thought you were going to pull back, I thought you were going to do it. He walks away, and comes the AD, and he goes, man, I guess that's his method of acting. I said, yeah, I like to give him my method of acting.
Dustin would have liked that.
And then after that, we were just talking about it all the time, and he said it on this DVD that he thought I was going to pull back, and no, he really whacked me with his head right into the eye. So that was, but I love the guy.
Did he talk to you about it afterwards?
Yeah, he did. But he did every dog get him ice. I said, no, it's all right. Everything's. I told you gonna come back, and we went out to dinner. Me, and people at Lionsgate. He was talking to me and my wife, and he was telling my wife the story. So it was funny.
You better pay for dinner.
Yeah, no, but he was one of my favorite actors to work with.
Yeah, I heard he tells a lot of jokes on the
Yeah,
set.
he does. He does a lot of stuff. Very good. Very good.
So, Costas, who's an actor that's one of your favorites that you
Well,
got?
does anybody, look, I always have to ask this because the young people forget the greats. Do you know Anthony Quinn? Anybody?
Oh yeah.
One of the great actors of all time. I became like his son, and he announced me his son. There's a lot of stories, but when I worked with him the first day, it was a movie called Mobsters, and I remember it was 1991. I remember walking into a trailer that I thought was mine because the door was open, and I was all nervous, right? So I opened up one door, and I was the fourth lead in the movie, and I just walked into the fourth one. I put my bag down and said, I'm not late. All I hear was behind me, and who are you? I turned around, it was Anthony Quinn. We started talking because he played a great Greek character called Zorba many years ago. He won the Academy Award. Anyway, he got up after the show. I don't want to bore you with the story, but he came up to me and he just stopped talking. I didn't know what to do. It was Anthony Quinn, the great actor. I grabbed him and hugged him, and he goes, I'll see you on the set. I see him on the set 1 hour later, and I shoot him. It's a famous story where the young mobsters took over the old mobsters, and my first scene with the legend is I kill him. And at the end of the day, he calls me up and he goes, I'm going to dinner tonight. You're coming. I go, okay. Yeah, I got lucky to sit with him and Don Rickles. And I sat there with the legends and laughed all night. And they used to invite me every Friday night. So as a young actor, I found some magical old timers, and they are brilliant. And a lot of them are gone now, but when you work with legends, it's a really big deal to us.
It's a pleasure. You learn a lot from them too. Just watching them.
And they talk to you, right? You're not afraid to share.
Yeah. I've watched De Niro work. I worked one time with him, De Niro, and I played a fighter, and I was like a part of being a director. So I just sat behind the chair and I just watched and I learned and I absorbed what they did. So that was my master class.
Yes.
So that is awesome. You got to work with people that you were fans of. But when you come to these, you meet people who are fans of you.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing. So thank you.
Can you talk about a very memorable experience where a fan of you met them at a con and what that interaction was like?
I mean, everyone that I meet at the con, I mean, it's great. I mean, this is my second year because I very rarely do a lot of appearances, and I just started doing it and meeting people and meeting, talking to them, and talking my experience of working on the Saul series and letting them know what happened behind the scenes. It's great. I mean, I love that, and they enjoy that, and it's just a pleasure. It's just a pleasure to meet them and just to say thank you for enjoying what we do.
You know, we were talking in the back a little bit. What a gift it is for you guys to come and want to meet us. It's something that we appreciate very much. And when we give a little hug to the young kids, we see families happy. It means a lot. Because in the old days, the stars were not allowed. You know, they were like very mystical. I think that's beautiful too. But in the modern world, we've become a little bit closer. So I hope you guys have as good a time as we do. It's a nice exchange.
And you have a guy like this guy right here, he dresses up like.
Well, it's funny, it's been 17 years since I last saw Costas Mandylor. That was 2008 in November in New York City with the Sawmania with all the cast.
Yeah. It's you were a baby, I was almost a baby, but here we are
I was
again.
18 at that time.
You're the best Billy I've ever met.
Yeah.
Just a quick question, because you just mentioned that in conventions. Are you more shocked when it's like people our age coming out to meet you guys, or older actors? Or I'm just curious because I know conventions weren't like a thing really back in the 80s and 90s. Maybe I'm wrong. They definitely have increased in popularity, especially in the 2010 to now 2020. So I just wanted to get both of your opinion and yours too about it.
About being at these things?
Or just do you mainly see? Do you? How do I word this? Sorry, that's
The
my fault.
impact, you mean the impact?
Yes, the impact and like seeing.
Oh, it's incredible. But it's incredible, man. to see, when I went to New Jersey Con, and that's why I met Gabe, remember? And the people that came in, and people tell me, I didn't know you were here. I didn't know you were here. And they all come back with the bats, they come back with the saw, they come back with the pup, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy, this is great, man. And it's a pleasure to see that they enjoy your work, and that's what I love, you know? And just want to make me do more in that genre, you know, and just to see that.
Are you a little surprised at some younger people?
Yeah, I was at the gym one time, and I'm walking, and there's little kids that, hey, David, and little kid running after me, hey, David. Oh, and the mother was with them, and oh, he saw. And I said, come here. And I took a picture with him, and he was a little, I mean, it was great. I mean, it was a blessing to see that. And I see that here at the con and some other places that I go to, and it's great. I mean, I put a smile on their face, and that makes me so happy and everything, you know.
I think Franky puts it beautifully there. I can't add to that other than I laugh sometimes when I see 3 generations of a family. I'm like, the smallest one, I'm like, you let him watch this stuff? They go, oh yeah. I give up. I go, well, that's it. We're all a family now.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have to say that your work remains timeless and it appeals to all generations. And I want to thank you both for spending this time with us. Everyone, please put your hands together. Thank you.
Give yourselves a round of applause, too.
And visit them at their tables.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us, guys.